All right. Okay. Syndra time. AJ, 23 months. That is a hell of a commit. Almost 2 years, dude. You almost get the cracker upgrade. Thank you very much. That's a long time. Some hype train for that guy. Yeah, I don't have tattoos. I didn't smoke, didn't drink. I'm a very straight edge dude. We're facing Orianna. The Ignite, I think, is okay. Can also consider heal or ghost if you want. Just looking through some stuff. Silver gameplay. So Orianna versus Syndra. Well, let's see how you play the lane first, and then I'll criticize and critique. I've only drank like once, dude. Pretty much. Alright. Did I just fuck up my... No, I didn't. Okay. I was an Intel analyst when I was in. Alright. I want you to watch yourself for a second. Okay? Look. There, I think it's okay for you to not step in. Right here. Look. We play Syndra. We are lane bully central, okay? I really want... what I really want is when you see, like, one of the differences between really good mid laners and average mid laners is what you're doing is when these minions are low, like this is your, basically versus Orianna, and honestly with Syndra in general, Syndra operates on a lot of zones. It's a skill shot game, like a little mini game that you play in this type of matchup. Essentially, I'm gonna spitball here, but just bear with me, hear me out. Orianna's zone's about this big, right? Give or take, right? And your zone, very similar. It's like here, right? This is essentially what scripting programs do, by the way, is they kind of like just draw out the zones of all the champions and everything like that. It's your responsibility to have a pretty good read on champion zones and what's going to happen. It looks like boops. To have a good understanding of those zones. Every lane you face with Syndra, this whole concept, I want this burned into your brain, okay? This little mini game is going to be happening. So I bring this up because right here, these two creeps are about to get low. I'm going to slow this down. I want you to see how you play right out the gate. The lane, you go in auto creeps, right? The lane is already pushing. So you need to understand that if you step forward to this position, or, you know, alternatively, if you were on this side and you step forward to this position here or here, you can sneak in an auto if you want. Because you are, this is a like a multi-pronged situation. Anytime minions get low, you can force Orianna, who's also a skill shot champion, to choose. Either, and in most cases, I'm going to imagine she takes Q. Sometimes she'll show up with E, I guess. She's going to have to choose. Either she defends herself from your harass when you auto Q... auto, right? Like, she's gonna have to choose. Either she defends herself from you or misses farm. Now, it's only a minute, you know, minute 55, and I'm hammering on you about something that's really particular and meticulous. And I think it's more because with Syndra, I really want you understanding where your strengths lie, and get max value out of that type of shit. Where it's like, most Syndras, I faced really, really good Syndras and really, really bad Syndras. Good Syndras, every CS, dude, every CS that's able to contest. Now, How does your harass need to look? Cousin Nico, thank you so much for 3 months in a row. Appreciate it. What do I want? I want short trades, though. Like I said, I want auto attack, Q, auto attack, and then you're back out. Right? You're back out, and then you're just calmly farming. And you're accumulating that lead, and you're constantly dancing. This is Oriana's zone that I'm drawing here. You're constantly dancing in that zone. Rorith, 3 months in a row. Appreciate it. Sub hype train for that guy. So that's why I'm hammering on this, is I want you to make sure that you understand what we're doing when we're laning versus basically any mage. This is what you're going to be trying to do with Syndra. Constantly playing that little mind game. Notice again right there, she's got to be focused on the creep. That's why I want you on that line. I really want you just imposing. You don't have to cross it. Just know her Q goes to, I might have drawn it a little short. Her Q goes to about this line. I want you dancing on that line constantly. Every time that she isn't able to respond because she has to deal with CS. It's one of the benefits of pushing, is that you get to do that. There you hit Oriana and get the CS. Kind of accidental, but it works. Aeroblix, thank you. You guys are going crazy. First replay of the day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sub hype train for that guy. Welcome, my friend. Here, you're level 2, and I know I'm being annoying in laning, but it's incredibly important as Syndra that we dominate lane, okay? It's very, very important. This is why we play this champion. Mr. Hank, thanks for the sub. I do not know what's happening. This poor dude's trying to get coached, and you guys are just sub nuts right now. I really appreciate it. Here, level 2, why are you attacking creeps? Why aren't you stepping in trying to poke at this guy a little bit? Same thing. Nice short trade here, leading with an auto attack, and then doing a quick trade and then stepping back would be awesome in this spot. Would be a fucking yes, check mark, dude. That's a shitty check mark. Yes, good shit. But notice, you don't even impose. Like, level 2 versus level 1 is a significant time for a mid laner. And if you're thinking, oh, but I might get ganked, if he shows up level 2, he's a fucking ape anyways. Oriana doesn't have Ignite. As long as you make a reasonable flash, he'll be fine. Ganking level 2 with a blue buff is retarded, and in most cases won't pay off for the guy. So step in here on your level 2. Now I'm going to turn off this for a second. Just so I can talk about the ganks and handling that a little later. Alright. At this point, we need to adjust. Again, I want you pressuring the shit out of your lane. Here's the thing. This side of the map is a dangerous spot to pressure on, because Jarvan is going to be coming from here like 90% of the time. We know that because of bot lane when they show up into lane late, and top lane was already up here. If you go back in time. Watch the lanes closely for a second. You can know exactly where the jungle is likely to. That's why I say 90% of the time without vision. Ryrock, thank you so much. 4 months in a row. You guys are going absolutely ridiculous 4th of July weekend. All right, cool. Sub hype train for him. Notice 149. Your team's leashing red, right? 149. This guy's in lane. It's very easy to track the jungle in the early stages. A lot of players are just lazy about it. The reason why I'm hammering on all this is because I want you understanding how to play your lane cocky and arrogant and to bully. That's what I'm gonna hammer on this replay for users. Because basically, dude, and this isn't to be a dick, if you're silver playing Syndra, you're doing something wrong. You should be crushing like every lane as Syndra if you're on your shit. So that's what I'm trying to articulate and package to you right here. Okay, so. Here, we see Nars in top lane, right? So we know that red isn't leashed because, you know, red isn't leashed. So Jarvan, if he doesn't get a leash, it's going to be a really weak open towards bot side, and which is why I said 90% of the time. Sometimes, yeah, Jarvan will be starting here. Now, look at their bot lane. Their bot lane is conspicuously absent, right? They're not there. All of a sudden, right in line with your bot. Notice, as soon as Jhin is bot lane, Caitlyn's bot lane. What does that tell you? Blue was leashed, right? What else does that tell you? Jarvan's going to path to his red. Okay, so now if we fast forward ahead, what I want, one of two things. Okay? If you want to cheat towards this side and harass, that is fine if you have vision here versus Jarvan, okay? You need to get me vision here. If you're going to cheat anywhere, I'm going to cut the wave like in the middle. I'm going to draw a line. If you're going to play on this side and harass Orianna, just know that the minute that you harass too heavy on this side, Jarvan's going to show up, EQ, your flash is gone. Your flash is gone. There's just no way, because she's going to have heal and she's going to survive your damage for the most part, and then turn it with Jarvan, and you're losing flash. Okay, so as a rule, we need to make sure that we're playing towards this side, so that if Jarvan shows his face, in order for him to ever engage on you, he's going to have to flash. You might be able to save flash or trade flashes, whatever you need to do. But we need a ward here, otherwise I want you playing towards the bottom side, okay, while you harass this guy. See how you're not very cognizant of like, oh, like Jarvan can come from red? Look, now I'm going to turn off the fog, and it's going to happen, right? Eventually he's going to show up. Now, if he did a full clear, right? We don't know that, but he could have already been right in this brush. If he went blue, wolves, red, and he's already pathing, he would already have been like here, moving towards you, and there's a chance that you get cheesed. So I want you being aware. It'd be like a good comparison to make is like if you're playing StarCraft, right? It's like, oh, at this timing, we could get Zerg rushed. We could get, you know, fucking Stalker cheesed if we're dealing with Protoss, or a guy could do a double Barracks Marine rush. All these StarCraft fans are like, yeah, I know what he's talking about. I've been through that shit. So if you're not cheating towards the bottom side, you're opening yourself up to a gank. If Vi is here chilling, right? It's fine, but she's not. She's topside. So you're exposed to a gank that we don't necessarily want to be exposed to, okay? You're showing Jarvan your penis. So Jarvan's topside, and there's a Janna lane bottom. So generally, I say you are free to just fucking. You're free to just trade. Like if you want to try to bully, like outplay and bully low elo, this would be your frame. This would be like your window to start loosening up. So a big difference, you'll see those players that are always like just hyper aggro bully. This would be the time where you're justified. If you're a very good Syndra player mechanically, you can just go ham on the guy, auto him, try to trade aggressively, just do super aggro things. This would be your window to do it, okay? Jarvan's topside, there's a Janna support, she's never ganking. A Janna gank is basically her running into fucking mid lane and shielding. It is basically a Janna gank. Good. That was reasonable. I think that in general you've probably missed a lot more opportunities to harass this guy that we went over, but that's what I'm looking for. As soon as that minion dies, you can also combo your stun off of the minion, so it's a little bit more deceptive, which is a good way to pressure. This trade you extend a little too long for my taste. And I'm going to show you what you need to be thinking here, okay? Getting the stun and getting a quick trade to proc Thunderlords. Actually, was Thunderlords still a cooldown? I'm not sure if it was. It might have been. Oh yeah, wait for Thunderlords to tick down before you go for this. You see how you go for this like full trade? You don't need to make that play. And the other thing is, you need to work, just keep working. Whoa, Cygnus. Wow. Thank you so much, dude. That is fucking crazy talk. That is ridiculous. Can we get some, like, what emote for something like this? Can we get some fucking, some NEACE nices and some NEACE gasms and some, I don't even fucking know, dude. Just put some shit out there, guys. What the fuck? Thank you. This trade, I want you to notice, before I was like, good trade, right? I was like, good trade. Why? Because I was like, well, you kept it short. You did your combo, you did your stun, you did your auto proc Thunderlords, and then you back down. Watch how long you make this trade last. Look. Now, you don't have any kill potential here on Orianna in this spot. You've already pretty much blown your load, right? Thunderlords are still on cooldown, but the key component that you're missing here is you're trading Ignite for heal, which sometimes is fine, but I don't like the way that you go about doing it. You basically gave up lane control in order to do it. See the HP? You had a huge HP lead and mana lead on the guy. The key thing that you're missing with Orianna is that you don't account for her E, evidently. Her E is a pretty low mana cost ability. All you really wanted to do in this position is you didn't want to extend the trade per se. What you would rather do is you would rather do a quick attempt at a trade, burn some of her mana and step back, and then you could just zone her off of CS. And so every time she steps up for CS, you can just calmly walk up, threaten an auto Q auto for Thunderlords, and she wouldn't be able to respond really, other than just using her shield, because she couldn't do a full trade. So you need to understand, you're like looking for the kill, but simply just holding the kill potential and just slowly chipping away that much further while farming. You are basically free to farm. If Jarvan shows up, she can't follow up, and you're basically free to accumulate CS, build a wave. Like, you would be able to slowly build up a big wave, push it under tower. Your jungle could dive, or you could just solo kill the guy if he's low enough. All right? So that's nice money bags emotes, dude. Thank you so much. But that's like the goal. That's the long-term goal. So let me show you again so you can understand. Here, notice what I'm saying, okay? We can slowly chip away at this guy. The only way he's going to be able to really respond is with a fucking E, okay? That's the only thing that he's going to be able to respond with. Actually, his mana is so low, he can't even afford E. He gets it, I think. Or he responds with trading. What did he do? Did he just Q auto? Yeah, he just wasted a Q, basically. But you see what I'm saying? We could have just worked a short trade and then backed out. In that case, you would have dodged the Q. But look at the wave building up, and look at how much resources we wasted. We would be able to poke at this guy a little bit more. And here's the big wave buildup. And we decide to back. I think the back there is fine, given what happened, how this whole thing transpires. And he stays. So, at this point, let's see what you do with this first. What are we doing here? I'm seeing how you combo, basically, right now. I like how you play off the siege. I wish you would have held your full combo for the siege, so it's a little easier to set up. But you've also whittled this guy's mana pool down. Do we have any sustain, though? Should be using a biscuit here. My only criticism with how you played this was that you didn't flash the EQ for some reason. Here, what makes for a very, like, what makes for a really dominant position is that I'm with you. Obviously, level 4 versus level 6, this is good by you to turn this, to ult this guy right away. The only thing that concerns me here is if this guy was a better player, you're pretty much dead when you get hit by the EQ, okay? So don't confuse the result of this with like, aha, I'm the best. Because what you really need to do here because we didn't ward. I don't mind you like not warding because this guy was so low on HP and mana that I really do want to step in and pressure him like ASAP if I can help it. However, as a rule, you could just walk up to the brush and just drop a quick ward here, like a lazier ward that doesn't cover that much vision to help a little bit. So maybe you could have responded to this. Either way, it's fine to take him on because he's level 4 versus level 6. But basically what I'm saying is, if you flash EQ to here, very easy flash. Like, this is standard, like, it's so telegraphed what Jarvan's about to do. If you flash his EQ, he can't do anything pre-6, and you could just click on him, and then you could have immediately, I want you to see how much damage you take. I'm only nitpicking your laning this replay, by the way, because the laning is incredibly important on Syndra and low elo, okay? Like, cannot stress enough. Every little lane thing that you choose to do is the difference between you being just like omnipotent, dominant throughout the entire game and you being unable to really accomplish much without the risk of you yourself dying, which is what we're trying to avoid with harping on the lane, okay? I want you to look at your HP and what happens to it when you get EQ'd. This, you would be full HP. Like, or basically the HP that you started with, you would be pretty much full. As soon as you flash that EQ and combo Jarvan, you could double kill here, by the way. Just so you understand. Like, or you can get Ori's flash. So you basically EQ combo Jarvan, and then you could literally just walk at Orianna because she's low mana, you get red buff, and it's over. In fact, you could even go as far as doing basically flashing more towards Orianna, comboing Jarvan, and then walking it in and killing Orianna. Even if she flashed, I think she's dead. Okay, so that's why what you'll see a lot of like the like superstar Korea guys like Dopa is he always talks on certain champions like, as soon as this gank comes, you flash. Like, does not matter. It's worth wasting, you know, it's worth burning the flash so that you don't give up lane control. It's great that you get the kill, but I want you thinking about in spots like these, even though we make an awesome kill, you need to understand that low elo is about not only getting like a little, it's about getting a huge lead. Orianna's lead, or the reason that we can get the double kill here is because Orianna's actually retarded enough to have stayed with no mana, no HP pretty much in lane when you backed and the lane was shoved. She never tried to reset. And this Jarvan is garbage because he's ganking a level 4 into a level 6 Syndra. So these are two tards, right? Two tards. We want to be able to get both tards tilted, not just one. Now, I don't pretend to be a Syndra main, but obviously, right, if you're warmed up on your Syndra and you have the mechanics for it, bam, you get the Jarvan, you step forward, auto attack Orianna, she has to flash because you have the mana, you'll have the red buff, and you would have had the HP. So just so you understand that what I'm saying is not complete bullshit. Maybe a little bullshit, but it's pretty solid bullshit, even if somebody doesn't play Syndra, right? So Orianna just says, what, fuck this, I'm out? Like, she could pressure you, I think, a little, but she doesn't. Whatever. So you shove back, good shove. Don't know why Ori doesn't, like, defend. You're up double CS to Orianna, which is really good. And now we're loosening up a bit more. Really don't like how we're approaching, you don't have your flash, and you don't have your ignite. I want you to look at this. What you just did there was great. Pressuring the guy and make sure to mix in some auto. Did you even auto him? You didn't auto him. Mix in your autos. You have red buff. Getting an auto or two are very, very important. Jarvan isn't going to be ganking mid again right away. It's very unlikely. I suppose he can sometimes. But what I want you to see how the wave was huge. This Q that you throw, the wave is pushing to us. So instead of like just fucking basically counter shoving the lane, because the lane is already going to push to us and you're just clearing, why not try to step up and land a couple Qs here or there on this guy? We just canceled out a Jarvan gank, so we know their jungler is like super gimped. Vi's cheating towards the bottom side of mid, so we could always play the bottom side of the lane like that, and we can poke at this guy. And as that's happening, every time we keep the trade short, we back away. The wave is going to push towards us, and it's going to expose Vi. If we don't land any poke and we just shove the lane in, what good are we doing for ourselves? Right? If we clear the minions, what's going to happen? Wave's going to push. What's Orianna going to do? Sit here behind turret, right? And chill. What's Jarvan going to do? He might show up soon. Level 6. Soon he will be level 6. And soon it won't matter that you just killed him. Soon he will be able to press R on you because you don't have flash. And what's Ori going to do? He's going to press E and then R on Jarvan. It's literally one of the easiest ganks for them to kill you. Ever. Like, no question. So instead, why not touch the minions? Let the wave push to you, and I'm hoping all this is making sense when I'm spelling it out for you. I know, I'm not even trying to sound insulting to anybody. I'm just saying that wave management is really fucking obnoxious to learn. But I'll try to show you when the creeps are up so you can understand what I'm saying. Right here. Pause, right? This is 3 more range creeps, which means wave is basically pushing to us. When you decide to touch those creeps, you cancel out the push. Instead, this is where we would harass, keep our trade short, let the wave push to us, accumulate an HP lead, even if, and here's an important concept for people to understand, even if as the wave is pushing to you, you have the XP lead, so it's not like the wave pushing to you is going to hurt us, right? Normally, if someone is pushing to us, they have the XP lead. Well, because we absorbed the Jarvan gank, killed the Jarvan, right, and shoved a wave under tower that Ori didn't collect, now we have an XP lead. Notice, we have about a quarter XP lead. We can leverage that. And by leverage, I mean, she's never, because she's pushing into us, she is never, because of how bad the lane's gone, she's never going to get a higher level than us by pushing in. So we can just trade, even if it's even trades overall. Like, even if we're both a half HP, what's going to happen? The wave is going to be pushed to here, pushing to tower. We can slowly thin the wave at about here. And now, we're both going to have equal HP, except I have my turret to defend me, right? We'll have our turret to defend us. And then the Vi will be able to gank Orianna for us. As opposed to us being susceptible to ganks, we can accumulate a CS lead, accumulate an HP lead potentially, and position the wave in a way that we can take advantage of, or our jungle can take advantage of, and we don't get taken advantage of, because we don't want to get taken advantage of. We're wearing our chastity belt mid lane. Okay? I know that was long-winded. I know that I'm harping on lane more than I do in most replay reviews, and I probably won't get too deep into the game, like ultra deep. Sea-Dog, thanks for the 10 months in a row. That's a long time. Appreciate it. But I think all this stuff is very important to you, specifically your champion. I'll try to skip ahead now. Ah, we missed the shot. Okay. I mean, Orianna challenges when we're ahead. I'm hoping you shove and leave. You should reset here, unless you have info that I don't have. Jarvan can show up sometimes and kill us. And I don't want to risk that, so I would probably just shove it and back here. Oh no. Okay, good. He doesn't do it. You're lucky that he doesn't flank you from the side and try to kill you, because I'm pretty sure he would have been able to. So Orianna goes towards top. Here again, you're pushing for the sake of pushing, and I hate that. Look at where Oriana's standing. What level are we? We're level 8. What level is she? Level 7. Watch what happens. First things first, you show. So you tell her where you are. You don't have to. Watch when she shows herself going towards the top side. Right? She's right here. Better idea, mid laner. Instead of just pathing right to mid and telling on yourself, what you need to view this situation as, Oriana's leaving her lane after dying, and we have a level up on her. She's going towards top. Instead of showing after you clear the wave, why not just do a path to mid, into the brush here? 2 reasons. 1, we can drop a ward for ourselves, right, before we farm. And the other thing is it has the added effect of when Oriana's going to rotate back to mid, we're able to just chunk her out of lane. A lot of laning, and you learn this playing top lane, a lot of laning in some ways is getting HP leads in like unconventional ways. Oriana should not be going towards top side. She should be rotating to mid. She should be sitting in her fucking lane because she's behind. All you have to do now is just wait in the brush and you can combo the fuck out of her and then walk into lane with a huge HP lead that you can exploit once your ult's off of cooldown. I know it says it's off cooldown, but I know it's not because this replay thing is weird. But instead you just go into mid, you shove, and we get no value, right? We miss value. We kill her anyways. I think our ult comes back up. But think about how easier this would have been if we just taken the HP lead and then kept the lane and just last hit, and then we would have had all this space to play with. So the lane's in the middle, right? We've chunked her out in the brush that I'm trying to tell you to set up a camp on. And then we could just literally right-click creeps and step over the creep wave and just harass Oriana. And we wouldn't have had to make basically an all-in on tower, is what I'm saying. So don't confuse the result of like, oh, I got the kill with it's the best way to play the situation, okay? We're really fed now. Okay, Vi gets the kill. I'm shoving mid. We get mid tower down. Lane's going great now. This was weird by you. Should be flashing for it. This one's weird by you because you elect to flash for it instead of just controlling you. I need to explain this in a way that simplifies. So the only way that you die in this situation is if you flash for anything, like flash to kill stuff. The only way that you really die versus their composition is if you flash and expose yourself to the counter engage. Okay, so when you get fed like this, and this is going to be a bit of a simplification, but I think it stands. What I want you to do, like the adjustment I want you to make going forward, do not, when you're fed, do not flash to secure kills. Okay? Instead, when you're ahead like this, use your flash to bail you out after you walk forward and secure the kills if you're in like a compromising position. Because what you wind up doing is you're gonna pretty much always throw your leads if you are flashing forward to secure kills. You should be trying to strangle your opponents, making them spaz engage on you, and then you flash to step back if you need to. Exactly, protect the shutdown is the long story short here. Rubber band mechanics are really stupid, and I strongly disagree with them. Good news is, if you have the patience and the capability of understanding how much you're going to be giving away for dying like this, what you should be controlling. This should be a control situation. You should just be walking up, attempting to stun at max range, and then, I get it, cool, go for the ult. Not, oh, I need to flash and secure it, because if you flash and you give up, you're guaranteed that you're going to have to give up that shutdown probably later, unless you rush Sonya's next item. Okay? So, this is probably your worst play in the replay. And it's not to say that you deserve to lose because of this, but you need to understand that as a rule, when you get a huge lead on Syndra, don't be flashing to secure kills. Just control the game, dude. Control the game. Think like a Dopa would, dude. The guy will rarely ever flash for kills. Like, I'm talking ultra rare. And that's how you, every time that you die like that, you need to criticize your flash use and be like, did I really need to flash for that when I'm this fed? The answer's probably no. Here, we have no vision of Jarvan or Orianna. I would rather you rotating to bottom, getting vision, dropping a ward, doing something, because you are about to get ganked again. And sometimes it's going to really hurt. Thankfully, it doesn't hurt us that bad this time around. There, you click on Orianna. So fun to lose to Syndra like this. You push. I like this. After you get the kill, you get right hammering on the tower. Jarvan's top. Their bot lane's passive. Galaxizer, thank you so much for 7 months in a row. Appreciate it, buddy. Sub hype train for that guy. And then we get the tier 2 down. The look for the bot lane is fine, like fishing for it is fine, but after it backs down, you need to reset. So watch how long you linger. You do a quick check. You're lingering now. This is a waste of your time. You need to reset. You don't have mana and you have gold behind, like almost 2k. I don't agree with this. I think you should be resetting and going towards mid. We do get the tower though, which is cool. Kind of pays off for us. But yeah, I would have backed out of that a lot sooner and just said, meh, I'll rotate it down there again. Here we're kiting out the Gnar. We don't kill him, whatevs. We kite everyone back. We're kind of getting sloppy now that we've taken the mid towers. We're abandoning what was working for us a little bit. Here, they get rift and you start looking for people. No one's there to help you. In this position, it's best to just push mid and rotate to bottom. They have just taken rift. You're about to face check rift. Faker's Cat, thanks for the 3 months in a row. I would understand this collapse if you had anyone to collapse with you. You don't have flash in the spot. Replay reviewer's lying, by the way. Your flash is on cooldown. You don't have flash here. There is no reason for you to like try to 1v3, 1v2 or whatever. Same thing as what I was saying before. Control the game. Instead of rotating to rift, how about you shove mid since they have no tower? Shove mid and start walking to bottom where they have no tower and they're pushed to the tier 1. And your team's actually going to be able to follow up on something. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a bad rotation by you. Also, it looks like your ult was probably on cooldown and just came up. And now they're just going to back. Your team isn't going to clean anything up. You see what I'm saying? It's just pointless. There, no flash. Pretty sure. No ult. That rotation to rift and the fact that you have no mana, no HP, I have no idea why you are pushing with that wave. Just reset. It's not a big deal. Or go to dragon. You don't have to AFK push every time. There was definitely some good times to push, you know, after you get the kill or whatever, but here it's like, why are you risking it? Just reset. It's no big deal. This is your worst play and probably a good stopping point, to be honest, for this replay because I've spent a lot of time on it. We'll go one more death. Because we're at the 20-minute mark, where now we start Mario Partying. So we start pushing bottom. Interesting decision. Pushing bottom as Syndra solo. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to one-shot these guys with Janna here. And you're probably thinking, well, what the fuck do I do? In general, don't force anything. Don't force much. Like you flash to force the kill. You also pushed without mana and HP. So you've died twice where you didn't really have to die. Pretty obvious that you didn't have to die because of how big you were. And I think that you're like trying to end the game ASAP. But unfortunately, that's just not how League works sometimes. Instead, it would be better for you to just calmly push lanes and get wards down in the enemy jungle and just look for picks off rotations while you're like denying jungle camps. Probably would be the best way to go about this, I think. It's one of the things about low elo you have to understand is you're not really gonna be. You can dominate the. Oh wow, you killed that Gnar. You're not gonna be just like fucking destroying the towers right away. But pushing too much at the end. I mean, when you were pushing onto the side, you didn't overdo it. You just kind of took a quick peek. And then you start going to top. Quick shove in. How much mana did we have when we started pushing? Oh, this is like similar. This is a similar problem. Here, you should have stepped away. Right here. Now, when you threw your ball out here, when you sunned out, right? Notice how you're about to go for these last two creeps. This is what gets you killed. These two creeps. You watch any high elo players. I mean, I know I do it. Pros do it. Basically, there's times where going for the last couple minions is exposing yourself positionally. Watch. Bam. You go for the last two minions. These guys are already collapsing on you, and as a result, Gnar shows up too at the same. It wouldn't have mattered though. The fact is, going for those last minions is silly. Just throw out the ball and start stepping back, and space back out. Why? Vi is down here, dude. Your bot lane's down here, dude. You see two people on the map already collapsing. Trendemir's pulling them to a collapse. You needed to back away. That's too easy. And you don't have mana. Essentially here, you basically were fine to push to a certain point, but you needed to just step away so you wouldn't get slowed, and you could have just walked it out, no problem. I don't mind you doing a quick shove in, just be aware of when you have to leave. And don't greed for the extra like 1, 2, 3 CS on the end of a push when you see people collapsing. No point. So they kill you. Long ass spawn timer. Vi collapsing. Nothing there. You push bottom. These positions that you're putting yourself in are getting you killed. I'm glad I stayed a little bit longer. Because you're just throwing away. You're just throwing away your lead. I can see it. Like, I can see the pathing. Watch. Here, you push the lane in, right? You see Janna and I think Caitlyn here. Why are you pathing? Why do you think you need to path through this way? Or, I'm sorry, even through the bottom side. Why do you think you need to path this way? You're just exposing yourself, dude. There's no point of pathing that way. It doesn't do anything other than potentially get you killed. It's not like you're going to lose dragon if you don't path this way. It's not like there's someone flanking you. Why are you cutting this corner? It makes no sense. Watch. He wards right in front of you. And it's like, you're Syndra. You're an immobile champion. So, if you don't have a front line and you have to path through data, like, why? Just path behind. Control the map. I think, yeah, long story short on this one, lots of just like over pushing and then not like respond. Like when they are clearly rotating to you, you're just not responding. Just step back, pull back, find a quick pick, and then resume pushing. Overall, based on what I've seen here, every single death that you gave away was completely avoidable. I'm trying to think. Yeah, every death you pushed forward, flashed forward onto a Jarvan. You didn't need to flash forward. You could have just controlled space and held your flash. Second death, you pushed without mana, HP. Third death, you greeted for a few extra minions when you could have just walked back. Tryndamere was even giving you vision. Fourth death, same thing. You greeted for another wave that you didn't really need to take. You could have taken it though, as long as you just walked backwards and took the safe path behind. You are the carry. You are the guy in charge of the game. And every death when you're ahead is rubber band XP out the ass, because Riot thinks rubber band XP is a hysterical concept. You are giving boatloads of XP to the enemy team. I want you to notice that because you've gotten caught with this big of a lead this many times, the enemy bot lane is now 2-3 levels ahead of your bot lane. The rest of the lanes are fine, but you've given those kills to that Jarvan and to the bot lane, and even Ori's getting back into the game, and she got dominated. She has under 100 CS. She has basically 140 CS behind, but she's still catching back up. So to answer your question, you're not split pushing too much, you're not necessarily splitting too much. It's just that you're not taking like, oh my god, if they collapse on me and I don't know how to get out, I'm throwing a massive lead. You're not taking that aspect of pushing seriously enough. Like, you're not planning out what happens if they actually choose to collapse on you or to approach you from certain angles, or if you waste your flash. You're not taking the risk seriously enough, and you're not positioning accordingly. Budge Dragon, thanks for the 4 months in a row. Covered a lot of stuff in this replay for you. I do hope it helps. We covered everything from how to lane a little bit better, how to position, how to track the jungle, how to control lead, how to, all that stuff. So I hope it helps you, and I think that if you start applying some of the stuff that we talked about here, you'll definitely see a substantial improvement, especially after the early game. Just take your lead a lot more seriously, dude. Don't just kind of, oh, I hope this works. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know why you're pushing, if you don't know if you're safe to push, just ward out, calmly play back, maybe reset. It's all good. All right, YouTube, I hope this helps. It's NEACE, no bullshit gamer, and I'm out. Peace, cracks. Subscribe and all that bullshit. I'm out. Wow.